Further ado, let's get started. Hello, Black Rose Writing authors. This is Reagan Rohde here with Black Rose Writing. Excited to be going over our 2018 Black Rose Writing author survey. And, basically, feel free, anybody who does get on, to type anything in the chat bar. But I'm going to be going through the 6 questions we had on the survey and just addressing some of the comments and feedback that we got from our authors. So first off, it was, question one was, how likely are you to recommend Black Rose Writing to a fellow author or unpublished writer? 80% of our responses came back likely or very likely. So I'm very, very pleased with that. To me, that shows a good sign that, that yes, we'd like 100%, but we're meeting the majority of our authors in terms of, them wanting to tell other people about our company and that they're having a good experience. Question two is, how likely are you to submit another project? Again, this one's at about 76% likely and very likely. And so that also speaks volumes for what we're doing, because an author, took a chance on book one, but now they're trusting us with a second or third project after experiencing, one release already. So we're very pleased with that as well. Question three was, how does Black Rose Writing compare to other publishing experiences? If an author had any, and the better is at about 58%. So we want to get that number up a little bit, but we are glad that we've, on the average, we've been better than authors who've published with other companies. So that's another good thing. Question four talks about favorite quality of Black Rose Writing. These were just fun to read. There's really nothing I don't feel to go over in that. But definitely some good insight for our team. And now we get to the big ones. Question five is, what feature, if any, of Black Rose Writing could an author do without? So I'm going to go through these a little bit at a time. One of them, this one I felt was important, because one response said, invitations for authors to participate in events or competitions before the book has been published. Now this, I understand what the author's saying, but being knowledgeable and knowing about events, competitions, marketing, things like that prior to your publication is a huge advantage. And getting sometimes schedules fill quick. We have author signings and book events and festivals that fill very far in advance. So being able to secure these, plan for these, even if your book's not available, we have several books now that are 4 to 5 months out from their actual release date, already available to print and in the pre-order stage. So this is definitely something to consider going forward. One comment talks about hidden extras that an author is forced to pay. I like to address that because there aren't any hidden extras, and there's nothing forced at all. There's nothing hidden. They addressed in marketing. Last year, I want to address the marketing right now. We send out a cooperative marketing catalog, and that is nothing mandatory. It is 100% something that we've worked hard at being able to get our authors exclusive discounts and opportunities that a self-published and other indie authors would not get that opportunity. Those are discounted costs. Sometimes they're shared costs with us. And it's all completely extra and an opportunity that we want to give all our authors. Aside from that, we do market our books quite extensively. The number last year, 2 years ago, we spent $36,000 from our own end on marketing our books. And in 2017, that number went to $75,000. So over double of what we spent in 2016. And this year we're planning on, trying to raise the bar again. But we did spend $75,000 marketing our books. So we're proud of that number. It's something that I'm open to talking about with our authors. I want to make sure authors know that they do not have to pay for their book to be marketed. Those are additional opportunities, joint opportunities, and things that we can collaborate on together. And sometimes, we can't do every single opportunity for every single title. This other author also mentioned topic copy editing, extra editing, and no galley copies. Um, we do send out galley copies. I know we'll have a lot of authors that would speak up on this, but we do send out quite a few galley copies, and you just have to request from your publisher. Um, and then we, on a discretionary basis, decide whether we think it's something that's worthwhile with our budget, or something that we want the author to handle because we feel it might not lead to anything, or it might not be advantageous for us to spend money in that. In terms of digital galleys, that's something we can definitely send out to as many reviewers as we or the author can locate. So I'm going to continue down the list here. Uh, One author put the number of attachments all at once is a little overwhelming. So that's something I'll look into a little further. I know an author mentioned maybe putting them all in one place, where like a online portal where author could sign in and access all of them. So that's definitely something I will consider and see if it's something that's functional for what we're currently doing. Another author mentioned the getting the MailChimp list emails about promoting their books when their book is yet in pre-publication. Again, completely advantageous for planning and strategizing for your release date. Just because your book is not either in production or has not released does not mean that these are not valuable things. And a lot of these valuable things are going to come around again. So if your book is, say it's way out, then you might be looking at one of the opportunities for February of 2018, and turning that into something that you can mark down like, hey, this is something I want to do February of 2019. So I'm going to keep on going down their list. Again, another author talks about paying for their own advertisement. Again, this is something that we do strategically for all of our titles. So let's move on. The next one is, I could do without. I thought this one was kind of funny. I could do without knowing that I used the word seriously 187 times in my manuscript. I mean, seriously. Well, maybe 187 times isn't bad, but I find those editing notes to be helpful at times, in the sense that if you used it maybe 42 times in about 6 pages, it might be something that really distracts the reader and kind of causes them to not want to read on. Adverbs can be used definitely in abundance. So the editing notes, I feel, are very helpful there. An author talks about the social media marketing seems to be ineffective. We feel our social media marketing's been good. It's continuing to grow. We're trying to get more, followers that are trusted followers that are actually book buyers, and will check out titles when we send information that we feel is relevant. Promotion by the publisher is a little more aggressive. I agree. That's something we're every year we have grown on. We continue to grow, and hopefully we'll meet that person's standards here pretty quickly. So I'm going to continue down the list. A lot of them are similar. A lot of them, left remarks saying not sure, none. So one author says they have no interest in buying their own books and selling them. And that's fine. There's no requirement to buy your own books. There's no penalty for not buying your own books. But from a business standpoint, if you can't afford it, that's something as an author that you're never pressured. We've never pressured any author into doing that. Never felt like it was something that an author had to do. But from a business perspective, if I'm an author, and I was at one time, so from a fellow author perspective, if I make 25% royalties and I have the opportunity to get books at a 45%, 50% discount, and know that I have X amount of people that are going to buy those books, then it's good business sense. I'm making almost twice as much per book as I would if I'm just collecting royalties from my publisher. So it's definitely something that's that can be worthwhile to some authors. One author put authors.me as something that we could do without. Authors.me is one of our favorite partners. It's something that we feel at this stage, do not, please don't email authors.me and tell them, but we really feel it's something that we can't do without. I mean, it streamlines our submissions. um, they come in, they're perfectly organized, they're clean, they're similar. There's not an, we're not getting queries by email where one person's using a pink background with some gaudy font. uh, so authors.me just really makes it great for our acquisitions reviewers and for myself to review books. And we're getting quality material on there. And I hope you feel we're getting quality material because you're one of our authors, and hopefully that's part of your submissions. So um, keep going down the list here. All right, I think that kind of covers a lot of those. We're going to go on to the last question, question 6. And question 6 is, if you could choose one aspect to better your experience as an author with Black Rose writing, what would it be? All right, so there is, I'm going to say hi to Jason real quick, who just jumped on. I agree completely with your feedback, but we're going to go back to question 6 and let's see what could better aspect. And I think these are definitely key things. The first one talks about uh, more help with promotion. Yeah, no issues there. I think any author, no matter how high you set the bar, could always be happy with more promotions. So I'm not going to argue that one. Again, like I said, we've increased our promotional budget. We've grown for 10 years straight, and something that we're continuing to do is effective promoting, and focusing on selling more of every author's books. So far this quarter, January, February, and March have been really, really good months in terms of book sales as a whole for Black Rose Writing, and we're hoping to build on that. Let's see, make the process of releasing books a much shorter time. I'm not sure. That's something we did in the past. We would, we could turn a book around in 2 months or so, and it's not always the best strategy. Things can get rushed. You don't get a good pre-order and marketing stage, pre-promotion. So yeah, definitely going to continue our schedule as it is now. We're hoping to get books approved anywhere from 3 to 4 months in advance. That allows us. I've been submitting a lot of titles to New York Library Journal. Also been submitting titles to the New York Journal of Books and Publishers Weekly whenever they're pre-approved for printing and distribution in advance. That allows us to submit titles to those. So that's a big advantage. If you wait too long, you miss out on some of those opportunities. Another comment is make the books less expensive for the authors. Um, so yeah, so the way we have our pricing set up is with a high discount structure to be able to reach maximum wholesalers and maximum distribution partners. So one of the options, and we've done this with some of our backlist titles, and this is definitely an option for any author. Just email me. Is if an author wants to make the book non-returnable and do a short discount and focus on online sales and marketing, then this allows us to lower the book's current price and make it more competitive in all fields. Our books continue to be very competitive in terms of pricing for indie press, and so we're pleased with those numbers. But yeah, having a book cheaper is definitely always definitely not a negative. I'm checking our chat comments. James Wash is saying, curious as far as galleys are concerned. See some reviewers that require 2 months out and physical copies. So yeah, James. So definitely, having your book and all your material turned in months, even 5 to 6 months prior to your release date can be advantageous because it gets you in our production queue. Our design team can get everything finalized. And it allows us to, still add, if you land a big Kirkus review or, any type of great award, it allows us to slap that on the book cover, allows us to make changes if there are any based on early reader, beta reader, whatever feedback. All of this can happen prior to release date to just help make the launch even better. So let's move back to our survey. Monthly reports. Okay, this is a good one here. So monthly reports so they can gauge marketing efforts. This is something that I've struggled with in trying to better for a couple of years now. We're still working on either creating an online portal where authors can get in and access maybe their sales statements directly. So far, we just haven't had it work or be as effective in testing that I would prefer. But ultimately, it would be great if an author could check at least monthly on their own, be able to check updates on their royalties, updates on sales. But the main thing authors do need to do um, is to be more proactive. And whenever there is big promotions, whenever there is some strategic marketing that they think, okay, this has got to result in some book sales, please email me or email Justin at sales@blackrosewriting.com and say, to check certain dates, check whatever platform, maybe it's Amazon Kindle, but let's get those addressed, and we'll do our best to get back to you quickly so we can see, um, to see any sales results and to be able to help you with that. So moving on down the list, one author says more control pricing the books. Again, the controls there in the sense of it's as simple as sending us an email, and we have set pricing, set SRP at release, which we feel strongly about. But definitely when a book becomes backlist or it's been out for a few months, don't hesitate to shoot me an email and let's make an adjustment on the pricing, or do a promotional period, anything like that. So we're going to proofreading. Yeah, editing, proofreading. Always, again, if an author said that, there couldn't be better editing or proofreading with any publisher, any company, then they've got it nailed. But I agree again. We've gotten better at this as well. Every year we feel much more confident in the quality and polishing of our books right now, the cleanliness of the manuscript, the tightness of the overall read. And it's definitely something that we uh, would be happy to expand on, and working on ways on getting that to be more, freeing up some budget to be able to enhance that aspect of Black Rose writing. Excuse me. So another author said the authors only portal where they can get documents, and look at like marketing, book fairs, and anything that comes through the email. That is something that we're working on along with the uh, royalties as well. So another author put, I like more control over where their book is featured. I've only seen it on Amazon. Not cool. I hope this author emails me, because if it's only on Amazon, I don't know if they're referring to print or digital, but yeah, that is not cool. And I'm pretty sure that it's on Barnes and Noble, and many, many, many other online platforms, and through many other distribution partners as well. If they are referring to the ebook, we may have it only on Amazon Kindle, and that's a strategic marketing, because we're probably tied into a Kindle, enrolled in KDP Select, where we're trying to gain new KU Kindle Unlimited pages read and readers, and being able to take advantage of some of the marketing day opportunity. Going through the list some more. Most of these are still repeat. Another one on info on sales tracking for authors. Definitely would like to touch on that. Something that we are working towards in terms of the weekly, monthly progress reports on books. One author puts develop distribution where I live in Australia. We do have distribution partners in Australia, and I will pull that list up here in just a second. I'm working on that right now. So distribution partners in Australia is going to be ALS, DA Information Services, Dennis Jones and Associates, Emporium Books Online, Footprint Books, James Bennett, Peter Powell, and the Nile are all of our Australian distribution partners. If there's any issues with those, then we need to go in and check our discount codes. Check things on those lines to make sure those places are getting the metadata feeds and have a chance to order books, because we definitely want to sell in those markets as well. So one author put, more help in the cover design. That one, not sure I agree with that. I feel like our covers, I would definitely put our covers up against Random House, any of the big major publishers. I have no issue, and are completely confident in our cover design and how well they turn out. They also put take the publishing calendar off the website. Um, Not sure that could be elaborated on, so I'm not sure what the issue with that is. Um, Obviously, it's nice to be able to see the when books are releasing. All right, still going through. We're getting close to the end. It looks like. Um, oh, got one more remark is how to submit subsequent projects. And to wrap it up, authors do not need to go through authors.me again. Authors should simply email me and letting me know that they've completed a second book, a little brief synopsis in the manuscript, and we'd be happy to consider a second book. So I've got one other question from our chat. Rick has joined us, and it's, will I know where my book is available after release? Yes, the press kit that we send out, which will come with one of your congratulations email part 2, that press kit's going to have pretty much cover all our distribution partners and venues, where your book's going to be available and who has access to your book. Again, the main players in our main sales are going to come from Amazon, and then Barnes and Noble. So, on our MailChimp campaign to all of our authors, so anyone can watch it anytime. So thanks, guys. Y'all have a great day.